Tensions boiled over in Istanbul today as Ukrainian and Russian delegations held competing press conferences just steps apart at the historic Çırağan Palace. What was intended to be a step toward peace quickly devolved into a sharp display of political theater and deep distrust. As the Ukrainian delegation addressed journalists, Russian officials organized a rival press conference on the same grounds. This dueling spectacle perfectly encapsulated the current state of negotiations, disjointed, tense, and far from unified. Ukrainian diplomats expressed their frustration, even showing reluctance to allow Russian state media into their briefing. Meanwhile, Moscow seemed eager to dominate the narrative, with chief Russian negotiator Vladimir Medinsky announcing a memorandum proposing steps toward a full ceasefire. He suggested a short-term ceasefire lasting 2 to 3 days in unspecified areas. But the Ukrainians weren't ready to accept this proposal, not yet. A spokesperson from their foreign ministry stated that the document was presented for the first time during the meeting, and they needed time to study it. Diplomats can speak when the guns are silent, said Georgi Taki, emphasizing the urgency of the situation. One of the few areas where both sides found common ground was in the exchange of fallen soldiers. They confirmed that 6,000 bodies would be returned, with each side sending back their dead. Russia also claimed that at least 1,000 Russian prisoners of war would be exchanged in an upcoming deal. However, Ukraine is focusing on specific groups, particularly soldiers aged 18 to 25 and the severely wounded. Perhaps the most emotionally charged moment came when Ukraine handed Russia a list of 339 children they allege were abducted and taken to Russian territory. These abductions are part of the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant against President Putin, making this demand not just a humanitarian issue, but a legally explosive one. Ukraine is adamant about wanting every single one of those children returned, as stated by Rustem Umerov, the Ukrainian defense minister. Despite these small humanitarian gestures, the overall picture remains grim. Both sides continue to circle around core issues without making real progress toward a peace framework. Kyiv has long questioned Russia's sincerity in negotiations, and today's events only deepen those doubts. As the war grinds on, it becomes painfully clear even diplomacy is a battlefield. Today's events in Istanbul highlight the complexities and challenges of negotiating peace in such a fraught environment. The world watches closely, hoping for a breakthrough but bracing for the possibility of continued conflict. The stakes are high and the path forward remains uncertain.